know that when you have a purpose and a calling on your life, there's nothing that nobody, and nothing can happen. I am Angela C. Wright.
Over the top, the gotcha.
He said your numbers has shrunk. He said, I don't know how, why.
You're not gonna get like, you're gonna have to have mounds of security for me because you're not gonna get me.
If I wasn't depressed and going through what I was going through, I probably would have never started.
And this episode was brought to you by the Heirs Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture. Hey, y'all. Welcome to another dope episode of Break Phree Podcast. And we had to run this back. I ain't even going to tell y'all how the devil was trying to play games and play tricks, but I got my brother here.
Yeah.
BigSexy.
Period, baby.
Hey, Paul, thank you for coming through for me again.
Down.
Could you believe that the footage was just horrible? Just couldn't even use it.
But you know what it is? When it comes to entertainment, when it comes to entrepreneurship and life, and really outside of entrepreneurship, literally you got to roll with the punches. And people think that's like a cliche saying that you got to make lemonade out of lemons, but in reality, you really do.
Yeah,
so I get it.
You get it.
Oh, 100%.
I was upset, and I was telling Bob, I was like, "It's no way we can use it. We can't even piece it together to do nothing." He's like, "Nah, dog, we can't do that. We can't do big dog like that."
Dog. Period. Get me right, get me tight.
So this weekend you was at Brother Brothers. Tell me about it. How was that?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to say Brother Brothers really just showed me why I do what I do and why my messages mean so much to especially women and why I honor black women so much. I honor all women, but especially black women, because they are the bread and butter to me.
Right.
They're the reason I'm able to eat and maneuver and drive and walk and operate, and all thanks and glory first to God, but then to my girls right after that. Because when I tell you the love and support,
they came out for you.
I was clear. It was to the point I was trying not to disrespect people going by their booth. Because every time I went by their booth, I was taking all the people.
With you.
And I have all the footage in my phone. and even my assistant, she was gagging like, oh my God, any booth I went by, they all flocked to me. I'm like, wow. So it was a wonderful experience. I'm honored. I'm thankful. It was so wonderful.
In that day, in that moment, like I know you have favor on your life because women especially, flock to you, period. Love your spirit, love how you are, love how you big them up. But that day, did it show you like, oh, this really on another level?
Oh, it did, for real,
yeah.
for real. Because usually I hate when people use the terminology saying famous because I think that is one of the reasons why I love Atlanta. But on the flip side, I think everybody thinks that they're famous, right?
Oh, you know that. Everybody.
And so when you use the word famous, even though famous is subjective, so it's really what you think famous is. But to me, famous is like Lil Baby, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj. That's famous to me.
Yeah.
So when people call me famous, I'm like, I would more so say I'm popular. But Brother Brothers, popular. I said, okay, bitch, you might be a little famous.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. You may not be on level 10 because I was gay. That was one of the times to me I gagged. I was like, oh my God.
You had to clutch your pearls?
I was gagging. I promise you. I was like, what from the moment I walked in, it was going crazy. I'm like, oh my God. So it was really, really good. I had a wonderful time.
And a lot of people would think that your fan base, your core support is like the gays, but that's really just not the.
Oh! If you even go to Pride with me, you would see all the gays coming up to me, but guess what they say? Right. My auntie loves you. My mother loves you. My cousin loves you. My sister loves you. It always reverts back to the woman.
Yeah, and why do you feel like you resonate so much with women, Sexy?
Oh, it's so many. I think, one, I've made it clear that I'm not in competition with a woman. Woo! And so I think, when it comes down to black gay men and black women, we literally have like a love-hate relationship, right? Because it's so much that we get from each other. And so for a lot of women to be able to see me, still sit in who I am as a person, still carry my bag, still sit in my femininity, but still I'm able to give honor and thanks to the reason as to who I am.
Yeah.
I think that it resonates with them. And so now it's easier for them to be able to show me love. Because I think sometimes, not all, right? Because you have a lot of gay men who do respect and honor women. It doesn't work like that. It's not just everybody that feels that way, but I think sometimes when it comes down to gay men, they have this thing that they think it's a competition, but you can never be a competition with what you emulate. It just can't happen like that. And so for me, I just give respect. So where the rich from?
But you know, it's just not young women that love
That's
sex.
what gags me.
Yeah, it's not just young women, and it's even women who, you know, sometimes, you know, older women can kind of be set in tradition, and that it's not of God and all that, but it's older women too who love you.
Yes, and I've had so many older women actually, like when I go do events and they actually hear me speak, they say, hold up, wait a minute. So you got a lot more substance to what I thought you did.
Yeah.
Because I think when you have preconceived notions about people, because we all do it. I don't care who you are, what caliber of life that you are in. We have all had a preconceived notion about somebody.
Right.
Just thinking that they may be a certain way other than what they really are. Until you actually get to be around them or hear them talk, or you see their personality and you're like, you know what? This is actually a cool person. This is actually a nice person. So having a preconceived notion about me and then actually hearing the way I operate and speak and my thoughts and my goals about life and different things like that, you get a different perspective about who I am.
Yeah, you definitely do, because it's a lot more to you than just sexy is gay. It's way more.
For
you know what
sure.
I mean? Like, you'll hear you speak on different platforms and stuff like that and be like, oh, okay. Like, you can speak on any level, which is bomb.
When I tell you that I love,
That's-
for me, that's my favorite. I have the gift of gab. I have the gift of presence. I could go and talk in a barbershop, because I do. Like, I'm not I seen this post the other day. It was like, when you gay and you go in a barbershop, you always put on your masculinity. I'm not that gay.
Yeah.
I go in there extra flamboyant, and I wish a gonna say something to me.
Yeah.
And I will argue with everybody that's in here while y'all having y'all debates and y'all discussions about different things. I'm the one that's chiming in, giving my opinion. I could go to the White House. So I loved it that you said it about me. Thank you.
I'm only speaking truth.
Thank you.
And another thing, sexy, your self-esteem and confidence. Like, I feel like you make every woman love something about themselves, right? Because for y'all that don't know, if you don't follow Sexy or you haven't seen Sexy, Sexy will be in the mirror in his drawers, okay? Stomach out.
Yes.
Like, yes, all of this skin.
Down.
Feel it.
And the reason I do that is because the time that we're living in right now, the comparison devil will come in and it will just make you feel like you're not good enough, as a woman especially. And that comparison of the devil, it is so demonic. That's one of maybe the most demonic things that has been put on this earth outside of drugs.
And
that
jealousy.
comparison, because guess what? That's the root of it.
Okay,
The comparison demon is the root of jealousy. And so looking at other people online and feeling like you're not good enough, you don't look good enough, you done had 3 kids, but you can't afford to go get a snip and tuck this week, so you still have your stretch marks in your stomach and your legs don't look perfect. And so to see, even though I am a man, I am still a heavyset man. And so for women to see me just living who I am in my stomach, because guess what, at the end of the day, contrary to popular belief, I still speak affirmations into myself. Because we all people, and we all go through our journeys of feeling like we're not good enough, all go through our journeys of having low self-esteem. We all go through our journeys of just feeling like we should look this certain way or operate this certain way or do these certain things. So as an adult, I still speak affirmations into myself.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing those affirmations online, I'm sending those affirmations out to people as well to let you know, you don't have to look like a Barbie. You don't have to look like Beyonce. You don't have to look like Jada. You don't have to look like Ari. You can look like yourself, still be successful, still have people watch you, because regardless of what people say, you still tune in. Down. Every time I do it, 600,000 views.
Yeah.
So guess what? If 10 of y'all is in a group chat and 7 of y'all think I'm disgusting, you got 3 people that's living. And you have 3 of them that's going to go and follow and see who Big Sexy official is. You know what I'm saying? Down.
Sexy, how did you build your platform? Like, how did you build your platform?
So I was good friends with Jada, Little Baby's ex. And we both are from Savannah, Georgia. And the reason why I always give her that is because I am a strong believer in, thank you so
I know you don't
much.
like to sweat. I know how you are. I know how you are. I know.
Give me a little quick dab and I'll be good to go. Okay. But I'm a strong believer in people who I put in position, even if we don't talk, be real enough to say what I did for you in your life and how I elevated you and helped you get to where you're at. And so I always give her that. When me and her were really good friends, she helped me with my platform a lot. She had got me to like 40, 50,000, literally people who were watching me. And then when me and her parted ways, I went off and did my own thing. And so I just started popping my talking about real situations and real things that go on in life, and talking about real things that I experience, talking about real things that I see on the regular. And people it resonated with people, and they started loving it. And so it just went up from there.
Yeah, because you have like a huge platform. I'm trying to figure out, how did I find it? I think it was my friend Deanna sent me one day. She was like, girl, I live for him. Do you know BigSexy? And I was like, no, I don't know him. This was a while ago when first of all, I was gone. So, I didn't know. I was behind. So when I came home, she was telling me, and I started watching you, and I was like, you know what? He needs a lip gloss line because you keep them lips popping.
Yes.
Yeah, you need a lip gloss line.
Oh.
And then just the things you were saying, and it's not like you're not a man basher. You just be putting, pulling us women up on the games that men play, and how low down they could be like, don't come for me, and your baby father gonna spend your whole tax check and stuff. Yeah.
Gosh, and people get it confused. They think I'm a man basher.
No, you're not.
You do have people that think I'm a man basher, but I don't give a I sit in there. Because for me, I have seen, even on podcasts, even when I'm in the barbershop, even when I'm listening to different men talk, they bash women.
Yeah.
And so for me as a black man, because I'm a black man before anything, before I'm gay.
Yeah.
Don't confuse the two. I'm a black man before anything. As a black man who growing up, I seen nothing. When it was Parent Teacher Day, it was nothing but mothers in there. Let's just talk about what the real is. So as a child, I seen nothing but a representation of a black woman holding it down. And so to now be an adult, I'm able to speak on these things. People think that my opinion is not solidified because I'm gay, or I have never been in a real relationship before, but I have still seen these things play out.
Right.
I have still seen the women take care of the household. I have still seen the women hold it down when these nowhere to be found when they're making 7 kids and going on about their business because they don't feel like putting in that work that I've seen the black woman hold it down.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm gonna always speak from the perspective of the people who I'm honored to have been in the presence of, and that's a woman.
Yeah. So coming up, Sexy, you were bullied sometime.
Yes.
Why? Why were they bullying Sexy?
Because I was literally always flamboyant. People who think this is a gimmick, or people who think that this just came around because I have a lot of followers, or people know me, or I have a big platform, that's a lie. If you knew me back in the day, I have always been this way. Because my mother, and I have to tell my mother this too, right? Because my mother's a very religious woman, and she say her little things here and there. She has never, ever made me feel like who I was not good enough, right? That's why that's my girl. But I always have to tell her, you created this beast. Because it would be times my mother would see me walking down the street, and I have a pocket. I probably was like in the 9th grade. Yeah. I have a pocketbook in my hand, and sometimes I would steal her fur jackets and wear them to school. Yeah. And it was so many times she would see me walking down the street, and she would just act like she didn't see me. She would literally act like she didn't see me. Or if I came upstairs and I just so happened to run into her, she would just she never really bashed me though. Yeah. So for me, in my mind,
she said it's okay.
Yes. Yeah. I took it as, okay, girl, you saying who I am is okay.
Yeah, so I'm turning it up.
And I'm turning it up. And so now when she be like, I want you to have kids. I don't care if you saying you gay, I still want you to have a wife. Da, da, da. And I'm like, Mommy, you know that's not going to happen.
You're living in delusion, Mom.
You're living in delusion. But I still allow her to sit, because in her mind, as a religious woman, she feel like God, you can never say what God won't do.
That's right.
But
that's true,
just in her mind.
Yeah, that's true, though. So you never can say what.
Not to God.
Yeah, but to that fish, you could stand.
If I was having a child, it'd be based off of adoption or something that I could not land with a woman.
But you don't have to do that. You can do the IVF, the surrogate, and still use your semen so the child will have your trait.
Oh, I think I may want to go to another country and just adopt. I don't, and not even just adopt. I think I may want to go to another country and just donate or just pour into those kids and spend time with them. I don't desire to have kids of my own. Yeah. I don't. And I know that it's so hard for some people to hear because that is what was taught to us, that we got to have children. We have to, you know what I'm saying? But for me personally, I don't desire to have kids. And I think it's a lot of parents who should have thought like that as well, and you wouldn't have a product of so many lost children out here. Because a lot of parents, you didn't want children either, but you did it because you was pressured. You did it because what was taught to you. But it's a lot of parents that was not equipped to the right skill to have no kids, and they should have knew, you know what, I'm not ready to be a father right now. I'm not ready to be a mother. So for me, I know I'm too selfish. I don't desire to have kids, and so that's something that's not
Selfish
even
with your time?
my time. I am like, that's really why I can't keep a man either. Because I like my space. I couldn't imagine having to move a child into my home with me. And I have to share everything I have. It's just not for me.
I would have never known that
Yes,
about you,
I don't
Sexy.
desire to have kids at all. I'm almost 30. I'll be 30 in June. I'm saying that it's too late because I am a man, but it's like, I guess it's too late, baby. I'm not having no kids.
You just gonna keep on living.
Oh, just keep on living. And my mother always be like, oh, well, what about your legacy? Oh, girl, the legacy's created. I have two nieces. I got a goddaughter. I want more godkids. I have a nephew.
Yeah.
Oh, it's created.
It's created.
Oh, well, when you get older, who's gonna take care of you? God.
That is funny, Sexy.
Oh.
That is funny. How did you deal with the bullying when you was coming up? How did you handle it?
It was tough for me, but when I look back at it now, it was the making of who I am. In certain times when you say that, it's cliche. You know, when we say certain things, because it's just like we hear things all the time. But it really made me who I am. And I didn't experience that long because when I got in like around 9th, 10th grade, I was whooping
Yeah.
like, and I'm not just saying it.
Yeah.
It's out there. It's literally videos of me growing up. I literally started whooping. So when I went through that phase of maybe like 4th grade to about 7th grade, it created me to be who I am.
Yeah.
Because when I got to high school, when I tell you I was giving them a run for their money, even when I go back home now, when people see me and they see who I am today, they be like, wow, you really the same person. You are really the same person. It's so crazy. You got the same personality because I was the gay guy in school. When I got to high school, it wasn't no picking on me. And be very cautious of what you say to me. I had got on demon time when I got older. It was bad. And that's why even in Savannah, Georgia, the hood niggas know me, everybody, because I eventually started getting on demon time. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
You was whooping behind and taking names later.
What? And I always was bigger than everybody else.
Yeah.
So a lot of times really didn't even try me like that in a sense. Because when it comes down to guys, you rather get your ass beat from another straight guy than a sissy.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they be like, they used to let shit ride with me.
Yeah.
But when I tell you it's on God, I'm not even just saying, I started whooping like punching faces in. It was bad. And they were all, and the reason why too I would always go off like that was because I was always setting an example, don't play with me.
So do you feel like you had anger built in you?
Oh, I did. For sure, and I think that's why I don't drink or smoke now. I have never drank in my life.
Oh, you don't drink?
I have never drank in my entire life of living. I'm 29 years old. I have never drank or smoked, and I think because that anger box is still stored a little bit somewhere in there. And so for me, I don't even want to ignite that within myself because I still know I have
your personality.
It's not,
Yeah,
and I like to be in peace. I like to be in happiness, but I do know I'm human. I'm a Gemini, and I don't want to tap into alcohol because I've seen what it's done to some people who can't control themselves, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, you might be that person. You start drinking, you're going to be punching walls because that anger, I still be working on it within myself.
Yeah.
So I just never tapped into that place because I like to be in peace.
Have you tried therapy for your anger?
I've never tried therapy before. As a child, I went to therapy, but as an adult, I feel like I've learned how to just handle it better. Like, I just let things ride, and then I also am very cautious about who I surround myself with. I'm very cautious on the people and places where I be at. So I think as an adult, I've learned better in how to control myself. But therapy is not something that I would say that I would never go to.
Yeah.
I would tap into therapy.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. It probably would help bring out something that you don't even know that you're suppressing. You know what I mean? Or maybe to give you the answers about the anger or whatever. And two, you know what I didn't realize, Sexy, like how you say you watch the people. I watch the people that I'm around also, but you know what I was just reminded of the other day? It's not just the people that we are around, but it's the people that they're around.
Yeah. That's so true.
Because their spirit
so true.
Travels, you know what I mean? So it's like having you mindful of your circle, but now it's like you got to be mindful of their circle.
That is so true. And when I tell you, people be so jealous. And I'm so thankful. And you have to, because I was just telling my friend this the other day. This is the reason I like talking to him, because I like having real conversations. if you're a human being walking this earth of the United States of America and you say that you've never been jealous of somebody, you're lying, okay? And the truth is not in you, because jealousy is just like love, it's just like hate, it's just like excitement. You cannot say that you've been walking this earth as an adult and you've never been jealous. Now, envious, that's on another level. But jealousy is a natural feeling, and it don't even necessarily have to be like, I want to be you, but it could be, damn, I wish I had the relationship that you have with your mom. Damn, I wish I had the relationship that you, that's a form of jealousy. And it's okay, it's a natural thing. But you can't allow it to have you feeling envious. Because envious, now you want that person dead. Now it's going to another level.
Yeah.
And so you have to always check yourself. And so that's what I find myself doing too. I always check myself, even when I'm trying to look for the bad, because that's what we do as people. But people are not just real enough, because what we do is we sit in our delusion and we sit in our lies. We're not real enough to say, I've even heard women say, and this is so real, I heard this lady say one day, beautiful girl, she was beautiful herself. She said, but you know what, with women, we got a lot of work to do, because I find myself looking at a woman picture and she could look flawless, and I'm looking for the issue. I'm zooming in. That's what she said. She said, I'm zooming into her toes. I'm zooming into her nails. She said she could look flawless, and I'm looking for the issue in the picture. That's a form of jealousy, and it's a natural feeling. And so I feel like for me, I always check myself. Even when I get into that place of trying to compare myself or compare my career or compare what I got going on, I just sit in the fact of I'm thankful for where I'm at in my life.
And you know what I have to tell myself? I have to tell myself, like, your day is going to come. I can't worry about, like, because what I do is I start saying to myself, I'm not doing something right, or I'm not doing enough, or I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Or I start second guessing myself. That's what that's my struggle, like second guessing myself, to where, like, no, you're doing what you're supposed to do at this moment. And when it's your turn, it's gonna be your turn, and don't let up on them until it's your turn.
Oh, and when I tell you, that's the thing that people say is cliche, but that's not cliche.
Yeah.
When I tell you everybody got their time, you literally have to wait for your time. And it'd be so frustrating because you feel like I'm 30, I'm 31, I'm 32, or even I'm 24, I'm 20, and you feel like...
Oh, no, you know I'm almost 50, right?
You fucking lying.
Oh, he said that F word.
Did you tell me that last time?
I don't think we talked about my age the last time.
You almost 50.
I'm 47. I'm 47, sexy.
Wow, you look good,
Oh,
girl.
thank down.
You down. You look good. No, you look good for real.
Thank you.
Like, even your whole setup right now, you look good. Like,
Thank you.
You can go mingle with the girls in their 30s. Do you have young friends?
No, not well. They like no. We all in our 40s. I'm the oldest though, but they like 40, 42, 44. Like that. None of my friends are really 30. They Bella is, but you know we don't like hang out all the time. But I mean, yeah, I'm the oldest. But just a couple weeks ago, when I went out with my friend Toya, and it was some of her younger friends out, they couldn't believe. They thought I was their age. You know, and I'm like, no, y'all, I'm 47.
You got kids?
Yeah, my son is 27.
What?
Yeah, and then the one that I took custody of when he was in 3rd grade, he's 30.
Wow, you look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is so crazy. That's so crazy, and you got to know your time coming.
Yeah.
Because it's like everything that you went through, I was just telling myself that the other day, it builds you to be who you are.
Yeah.
You know, even when you sitting in it, sometimes you like, damn, why did I do this? Why did I make this mistake? Why did I go through this? Damn, that was stupid. It's all building you to be who you are today.
And you know, people don't believe me when I say I had to go to prison, right? Because if I didn't, sexy, I probably would have been dead. Because I really, really was. Before there was an it girl and the social media and all that, I was that girl. Ask anybody about Shay in Atlanta getting to that bread. I was that girl, you know, but I had got so carried away. You know, like my father called me one day and said, God said he got to bring you down because you too high and mighty.
Your daddy said that?
Yeah, he's a pastor, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
yeah. And I told him, I was like, Daddy, get off my phone speaking negativity over me early in the morning. But it was what God had showed him. And in reality, it really was true. You get what I'm saying? So I had to do that time. So when I get in those moments where I feel like I'm not doing enough, I have to tell myself, give myself grace. Like, girl, you was gone 14 years. You've been home 2.5, 3 years. Like, Give yourself some grace.
Oh, and that's what we don't do. We don't give ourselves grace, and we don't sit in our blessings. It's so crazy as people. We'll ask God for the Honda. When he give us the Honda, we still not happy. Now we want a Jeep. We'll ask God for the Jeep. He'll give us the Jeep, and we're still not happy. You'll ask God to give you an apartment. Now he gave you the apartment. Now you want a mansion. And I'm not talking about wanting more for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about elevation. But as people, we don't even sit in the Honda and say, you know what, God? Thank you so much for blessing me with this Honda.
Yeah.
You know what, God? I asked for a townhouse. Thank you so much. I'm in it. I'm here. I'm thankful. God, I asked for a podcast. I'm sitting on a podcast. I'm thankful. 1 million subscribers, it'll come when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And I think we don't sit in our blessings as people. We always so antsy. It's like, what's next? What is this? And just like I was telling your team, sometimes people call me complacent, right? Because they feel like, oh, sexy, you should have a lip gloss line. You should have a hat line. You should have a T-shirt line. And I'm not negating those things because I do believe in skinning the cat, right?
Yeah.
While you have it. And I believe in you gotta strike the iron when it's hot. But on the flip side of that, I also sit in my blessings. And if I was to leave this earth right now, I have completed a lot, and I'm thankful. When my mother is able to call me and say, hey, I need an extra $600 this month, and I'm able to send it to her, no problem.
Yeah.
And my bills still get paid, and my car notes still get paid, my insurance is still, that's a blessing to me. I feel like I've arrived. And so it doesn't drive me crazy because now I'm on this hunt for $1 million, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Everybody wants it. But what you have to understand in this lifetime, a lot of people are not going to hit it. A lot of people are not going to hit that $1 million mark. And you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to strictly stay on that path of only that. And so for me, I be sitting in my blessings.
Sit in the blessing.
Oh, especially right now at this place I'm in my life. You can't tell me I'm not Beyonce. I'm so thankful. I'm so appreciative. I get to eat what I want, do what I want, go where I want, literally.
Yeah.
I'm not struggling. My bills get paid. I'm just so thankful. Literally, I'm so thankful. I'm so appreciative.
Sit in the blessing. That might preach right there. And this episode was brought to you by the Heirs Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture. Sitting in the blessing. I love that. I'm going to have to use that. You know what? That might just be the name of your episode, Sitting in the Blessing.
I love that. That's off the chain, Sitting in the Blessing.
But what about those that sit in delusion?
Oh! It's so bad. But let me tell you this. The reason why I love Atlanta and the reason why I hate Atlanta is because of all of those things. On the flip side, you come to Atlanta and you can be what it is that you want to be. If you want to be a scammer, if you want to be an artist, if you want to be a rapper, if you want to be a musician, whatever it is that you want to do, you want to be a movie star, you can do that in Atlanta. It's the camaraderie in the city. It's so many different things going on.
The Black Mecca.
It's the Black Mecca. But on the flip side, people who literally go by off of a facade only, those people annoy the hell out of me. They literally in real life have nothing going on, but they feel as though they have to look a certain way or drive a certain type of car or have certain designer shoes or designer bags to fit in with a certain type of people, a certain type of crowd of people. And I think that is where people find themselves falling short. I meet so many people, I'm like, why are you not able to keep your shit? Why is it that you've been in 3-4 apartments in a matter of a year? What is going on with that? Why are you not based in a place? Because you're sitting in delusion of feeling like you have to live a certain type of way. You have to drive a certain type of car. And so for me, people get it misconstrued when they hear me say, oh, I get my bags from the plug. Oh, I shop at Walmart, but please don't ever think I'm not banked up. And that's because for me, I know that I was always raised on rainy days. I was always raised on you have to make sure you go to jail, you're able to get a lawyer. That's how I was raised. And so for me as an adult now, it's so crazy that I see so many people that are not able to obtain a car, they're not able to obtain a house, they're not, especially in Atlanta. And it's because you're living off of delusion.
And you know, I hate it. Like you'll be a super bad chick and you don't even have insurance.
And so many black people, why you don't have life insurance? That's the craziest thing to me ever. Why do you not have life insurance?
Still doing fish fries and GoFundMe's.
To leave
Want to
so
run
much
to the church that you barely used to go to and try to ask the church to bury them.
And now, not only is your mother heartbroken that you're dead, not only is your friends heartbroken that you have died, now they have to band together and bury you. When you was just living your best life outside, you don't have no life insurance. But I can honestly say, we were raised like that. It's a lot of things as black people that our parents didn't teach us because it wasn't taught to them. Because we only go by what was taught to us. That's
Right.
everything, religion, how to cook, how to operate. We only go based off of what was taught to us. If me and you was taught how to speak Chinese, we would be speaking Chinese.
Right.
If we was taught how to praise Buddha, we would be praising Buddha. It's just what was taught to us. And so a lot of things just wasn't taught to us as black people. We didn't know about credit. We didn't know about finances. We didn't know about loans. We didn't know about paying your bills on time. You had a lot of younger people who I grew up with, their parents put light bills and cars in their names. And they didn't even know that until they got older.
Oh, no, I ain't play by my credit. I ain't play by my credit.
Not me.
Yeah, I'm not playing about my credit. I can't say I thank God for the structured household that I did come from. That's why me going to prison, sexy, it was like, ain't no way.
I got a question for you, though.
Yes.
How did your mama react with you going to prison? How did it make her feel? Was she devastated or did she see it coming?
My father seen it. They were broke down. Sexy, I was an AB honor roll student. I graduated college. I taught school. And then I went to federal prison. Wow. I'm the one that everybody put up here. I wasn't the one that supposed to been selling kilos all across state lines and doing all that. They were devastated. I seen my mother, no lie, during a week of trial, my mother went from like a size 14 to like a size 8. And then my father is naturally dark skinned like me. Sexy, I turned around and looked in the courtroom one day. His face was bloodshot red. Oh God, it broke me down. It broke me down. To see, it wasn't even so much of what I was going through at the time. It was what I did to them. You get what I'm saying? The hurt, the pain that I caused them. Like basically, who wants to sit in a courtroom and hear that your child is sentenced to 30 years? And I was 30 at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how much time did you do?
14.
14 years. But you a living testimony. You are a living testimony to show because you look good. And I'm not just saying that because we on camera.
Yeah.
You look good. Your skin, everything. Your body size. You look good like you took care of yourself. How was that? I'm just interviewing my girl now.
Yeah. I'm gonna let him take over. Only Sexy can come on here and do what he want to do.
I be having questions like, okay, this is the last question though. How was the journey in there though? Was it really, because you know on movies and we see on reality shows, they make it seem like it's just a jungle. Even with the women, they make it seem like the women prison go down too. Because you know by nature, women are catty. So when watching these prison shows, it seemed like the women be in there brawling just as much as the men.
I got jumped my first year in prison. 3 girls ran up in the unit on me. Sexy, but guess what? They did not know. She's a cute girl, but guess what? She gonna fight. She gonna fight.
What was the reason why they
a couple days prior to that, me and this girl had exchanged words. But I'm not really like an argumentative person. You know what I mean? So I was just like, it's whatever. That's what I said. I was just like, it's whatever. And I think she kind of took that as I was scared of her, you know, because I didn't deal with a bunch of people in prison. I was fresh in. I had 30 years. I got in there. I felt like I didn't have nothing in common with them. You get what I'm saying? They always made it seem like the feds was everybody with big money. Oh, no. I felt like I had nothing in common with them. And I was trying to figure out how am I going to get out of this situation. So when we exchanged words that day, I left it at that. Next thing I know, maybe like that Saturday, that happened on a Thursday, that Saturday morning, I was getting my hair flat iron. And all I seen was a finger in my face, Sexy. And she was saying something like, why you so, I don't even know what she was trying to ask me. I got up out that chair and I dog walked it. So I don't think their intentions were to jump me, but once they seen their friend getting beat up, they had to jump in. You get what I'm saying? But baby, let me tell you what Lorraine taught me a long time ago.
Well, that one
she
out.
Said yes.
That one that you got, because you can't beat everybody.
Yeah.
You got that one that you got right
For
there.
every lick they give you, you got to give her too. Ooh. And that, yeah. And I told them when they came, I told them, y'all came in here, y'all pulled a gangster move and left with a gangster ass whooping. Yeah. So that kind of like set the mark then. But prison, I call it the concrete jungle. It's the concrete jungle. It's a whole different set of rules in prison. You get what I'm saying? And for a moment, I had got caught up in prison life. I started hustling. You know what I mean? I'm a cute girl, so the guards was on me. I started using that to my advantage to get contraband in them people prison. But I also had to be reminded that this is not my home. And regardless if the judge gave me 30 years, I'm not going to do 30 years. So I had to start putting things in place where I knew I was going to come home.
Wow, that is because baby, the women. I know the women in prison be going down too, just like the men. The men. Oh God,
the guards couldn't. It was guards that couldn't stand me.
I know the men prisoners like hell on wheels.
Yeah.
But I know the girls be going down too. Because again, you know, as being a woman, it's just women by nature, y'all catty.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. You just, even if it's just much of cattiness in you, it's there.
Yeah.
So I know them girls be throwing down in there.
And then, you know, too, my hair has always naturally, I got long hair. My hair's always been long. So, you know, once I get that blowout, this just me though. But that's the things that you say that some people are jealous of that you have no idea. You get what I'm saying? So here it is, you know, yeah, and I had a cute little shape. I had surgery way back then.
No, so you was one of, even with the teeth, you know how people, you be like, I been did that. Everybody get their teeth done now, that's new.
Yeah,
I been did that.
Yeah, I had surgery way back in, let me see, I went to prison in I had surgery way back like the early 2000s.
Wow, you are a walking testimony that God has never done.
Yeah.
He's never done. And I don't care what situation you in. You could be in prison, jail, whatever it is. You still have time to get right, make your life right, come out, be shining, looking good. You look good. I would have never imagined that that's what you went through. Seriously.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what you look like with your wig off, your makeup off, but as of right now, what you presenting to me, I would have never known you look good.
And that's
you
my
look strong and healthy.
Thank you. And that's the whole reason for this podcast, Break Free, right? Because I want people to break free from the mindsets, from the generational curses that we've been through, the thing like how you just thought, the things that are taught to us. This is the generation to break that, to change that. But the only way it's going to happen if people speak their truth. You can't keep lying and being in delusion about things that go on. You have to speak. Yes, I went to I'm not ashamed of it. It is what it is. It was a chapter in my life. It's not my entire life. You get what I'm saying? How you speak out about being bullied, but look at you now. Look at you now. You the one they looking up to. You the one they looking up to.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm the one they looking up to.
Yeah, so but guess what? If you're not ashamed to tell what your story is.
Ooh. And when I tell you, even my older sister, she be gagging like when she's out with me, it's to the point that I can't even go nowhere. It's not bad, like I'm, Usher, but it literally, when I'm with people like my mother or with people like my sister who really know me, who really seen the progress, my mother, it be blowing her away like, cause to her, that's my mother. She gonna always see me as Brian.
Yeah.
And so, even when I'm laughing with her on the phone sometimes, she'll be like, don't give me that fake laugh. You leave that fake laugh for them. Don't laugh like that with me, because I know you didn't think that was funny. But when she's with me and she see people going crazy, and what is that? She's mind blown. Like, oh my God, you really are inspiring these people for real in real life.
You do. You really do. You help women with confidence, everything. I watch you walk into those rooms at your, at different events and everything. And you know what? I just love how you're just always you. I seen you walk in one day, you fell. You picked it up and kept on going.
Down. Always.
You didn't sit in it.
Oh, and when I tell you, I love my girl so much. I be wanting people to know it's not just a gimmick. I'm not just pandering. I'm not just saying that. Because when I be thinking about it, I'm like, what would this world be if I was just put on this earth and it was nothing but men? I would go through hell. I probably would have been committed suicide. I'm just being real.
Yeah.
But it's women that keep me so uplifted and grounded, and they give me so much confidence, and they just speak so much life into me. Even again at Bronner Brothers, I'm like, I could not believe it. I literally was gagging. I couldn't believe it.
Did you ever see this for your life, Sexy?
Yes and no. The reason I say yes is because I've always had a big personality. I've always had a big personality. This is not a facade. This is who I am when the cameras are off too.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not always turned 24/7 because I'm human. It's days I don't feel like being bothered. But for the most part, this is who I am. I've always been outspoken. I've always been flamboyant. I've always been like that. But I would say no on the side of just having so many people touched by what I do. This is my calling.
Yeah.
And I think for me, that's why I don't really fight depression. Not saying that I'm immortal, right? Because I have to still keep living. But as of right now, being 29 years old, I don't really go through depression, and it's because I think I found my calling. And I think depression hits a lot of people when you feel lost and you don't know what your calling is on this earth. You know what I'm saying? You've had those times of just feeling like, what is it that I'm put here to do?
Sexy, when did you realize that this was your calling, to touch women, to uplift? When did you realize that was your calling?
When I had church women coming up to me, because I know a lot of those women are based in their religion of how they feel, and I would never take it away from them, because my mother is the same way.
Yeah.
But when I've had church women come up to me saying, oh my God, that message spoke to me. I experienced that. I love you. I had one lady literally come up to me and say, she was honest because I love real.
Yeah.
I love transparency because I'm a real and I'm always going to speak my mind. She came up to me, she said, young man, I want to be honest with you. I don't even normally get into people like you. That's what she told me straight to my face. She said, but I found myself looking at one video, 2 videos, and when I actually started listening to the messages, oh, I fell in love with you. She said, and it so happened, this was in church. I went with my mother one day when I went back home to Savannah. She said, it so happened I was sitting in my car, and I seen you walking by, and you were just prancing. And she said, wow, that's really his energy in real life.
Yeah.
And she said, I just love you. And I'm like, wow, okay, you got to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you got to make haters believers. Not saying that they're haters, but it's just people who don't necessarily see it for you. You got to turn them into lovers.
You know what my tagline is? It's always delusion until they see it happen.
Always.
Always.
Ooh.
Always delusion until they see it.
Shandoro. When I tell you, because that's real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. And that's why when it comes to my sister and my mama, they be so, even now, when I'm sending my mama money, she's, of course she knows she's my girl.
Yeah.
But she just be so thankful that she wasn't that mean, nasty mother to me who didn't believe in my dreams. Yes, she used to whoop our ass, but everybody got their ass whooped.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just how we was raised.
And there need to be more whoopings with this generation. Yeah.
But when I tell you, she just be so thankful that she really, because she did believe in my dreams. I got to a certain age, she just was like, okay, my son is a sissy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to deal with it. But now, what do you want to do with your life? Where you want to go at with your life? What inspires you? And she's so thankful that she's right on this journey with me.
I know that. What about your dad?
Oh, that's my boy. I would say my daddy was more receptive to my sexuality than my mama at first.
Really?
Yes. My father.
Your biological dad?
No, not my sperm donor.
Okay.
My mother's husband.
Oh, okay.
He's been raising me since I was 1 year old. It's pictures of them at the wedding, and they're literally holding me.
Oh.
That's my boy. They still together. They've been together. I turned 30 this year. They'll be together 30 years, if that makes sense. Because they got married
while you was a baby.
day after I was born.
So that's your father?
That's my father.
Yeah, so your biological, you don't...
Yeah, so my biological, he's in New York somewhere. But the man who raised me, which is my father, our relationship is phenomenal.
Oh, that's good.
He's phenomenal. He the one taught me how to fight. He's the one taught me how to defend myself. He used to take me to after school. That's my boy. I talk to him every day.
That's good.
It's nothing he can't get from me. He asks me for shit. Gets on my last fucking nerve. Asking me for shit every day, but that's my boy.
Yeah.
The reason why I give it is because I always think when I was younger, he was there always.
Yeah.
Raising another man's child.
Yeah.
But did it with so much love and so much grace. He used to whoop our ass too now.
Yeah, yeah.
All the time. Especially me. He
What
ain't
you
play
bad?
with me. He ain't play with me.
Why was you getting whooping, Sexy?
Because my mouth. I remember it's nothing he wouldn't do for me, but one day he had to show me who was in charge.
Yeah.
I would never forget that day. I was talking reckless to him.
What you saying?
I probably was like in the 10th grade, and he never put his hands on me because when I was younger, my mother went off on him. So he never put his hands on me. But as I got older, and I would be arguing with my mother, then she would be like, you need to start disciplining him. You see, he's sitting here talking crazy like that.
Yeah.
And so one day when I tell you I never did it again, I was just talking reckless, and he came and he grabbed me by my throat, and he slammed me. And he just was like sitting on top of me, like pinning me to the ground, literally.
Yeah.
And it just scared the life out of me. And I never.
You had to get some act right.
Oh, I said, okay, that day he was trying to show me, bitch, don't play with me. You can't take me. But that's my boy. That's my boy.
Good.
I love
that's
him
good.
now.
That's good that you had that relationship on both sides. That love.
That's my younger sister's father.
Okay. Yeah. So before you go, this is Break Phree Podcast. You have to tell me something that you feel like you need to break free from.
That's a good question.
That's what
I
everybody
love
say.
questions that make you think about yourself. Because a lot of people don't do self-reflection. Me, I would have to say forgiveness. Oh, that would be the top thing. Me, I'm a phenomenal person. But once you do me wrong, I don't give second chances to nobody. I don't do second chances. I don't never want to hear from you again. Don't never want to talk to you again. Don't never want to be around you. Literally. And I'm that person like, you know how people say, oh, I wish you well. I don't be wishing people well. I'll be wishing them danger and harm. And so I'm really trying to, because that's cliche. People always say, oh, I wish that person well. A lot of times, no, you don't.
No, but Sexy, you know what? What I learned is you can forgive somebody and still not deal with them.
You sound like my mother.
It's the truth. You can forgive somebody. The guy that testified against me, I forgive him. I just don't choose to deal with him. I don't want to talk to you. I don't have anything to talk to you about. But I forgive you because there are things that I needed to be forgiven for. And I was forgave. So we have to extend that same grace. So going forward, this is something we're going to work on, right?
And when you put it in perspective like that, that's true.
I might have to text you every now and then and say, how are we doing with our forgiveness?
Because I just be feeling like it's certain, like, of course, if I became friends with him and he did something to me tomorrow that he don't, because, we all have our different personalities. I'm not talking about something like that. Because he don't really know me. We still building a friendship. And, I can forgive things like that. But there be certain things that I feel like you know better as an adult that you shouldn't be doing or saying or behaving a certain type of way. And it's nothing I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, you don't have to talk to him. Just forgive him and hear
I know, and I harbors on it. It's bad. Ooh, I got that harboring demon. If I was like part of the mafia, oh girl, I would have had some heads taken off. I'm so serious. If I was like part of the mafia back in the day, I wouldn't have been playing with nobody.
See, no. We need that love, Sexy. We need that love. We need that love. That love side. Let's operate in the love side. Let's operate the love side.
Yeah. Oh, God, just keep cleansing me. Oh,
thank you so much for coming by today. Thank you for coming again because the first time, now this time going to be a charm.
Yes.
This time it's going to be a charm.
Down, we good?
Yeah.
Everything good?
I love you, Sexy, and I just thank you for who you are. Thank you. Continue to lift people up. Continue to pour out that love. Leave the little attitude box over there. We're going to leave that suppressed. And go enjoy your massage today.
Oh, thank you so much. You're doing great. I'm telling you, this is great.
Thank you.
This is great. And for real, sit in your blessing for real. And be thankful. That's why I be at so much peace. Oh, people don't understand I be at so much peace in my life. I be at so much peace because I'm just like, ooh, I'm good. God, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's what I literally tell. Every day I wake up and I'm able to go and eat me a steak and mashed potatoes, I literally be sitting there like,
you need to leave that red meat alone. But that's another
It
story.
had me in a chokehold. Woo! God, I love y'all. Mwah.
Thank y'all so much. I know y'all enjoyed Sexy today because I enjoyed him. Don't be wanting him to leave when he come by. I thank y'all for tuning in. And remember, it's always delusion until they see it happen. I'll see you next time. Down. And this episode was brought to you by the Heirs Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture.